how do you do bends on the triple play? So this is how you don't do it. You don't do it like that because don't forget you're playing a keyboard rather than a guitar. So you're a guitar player playing a keyboard, playing an instrument. You're 2 steps removed or 1 step removed from what you're actually doing. So if you look at what keyboard players actually do, they don't do that with their finger or anything, unless you've got a rolly or a weird keyboard. You've got the little wiggle stick, and that's what they all use. You need a pointy beard and a wiggle stick. So I'm going to flip over from the triple play to Mainstage. Main reason I use Mainstage is that there's just a lot more you can do with it compared to the triple play. Doesn't mean that the triple play is bad. It's brilliant. The software is great. I need a little bit more than just that straight ahead package. And before you ask, I think Mainstage is an Apple only platform. I'm sure there's a PC version that's similar, but I'm a Mac guy at the moment. Although Apple are not my favourite company by a long shot. So people are always asking me, how do you bend on MIDI guitar? I said that people are always asking me how you bend on MIDI guitar. Thank you. You replace the wiggle stick with a funky sock and a pedal like this. Like that. What you don't do is sit there and play a whole bunch of guitar licks like that. Like that. Or do you? You have to relearn all your guitar licks. So that's like the typical, You can hear how bad that sounds as if you're playing it on a keyboard, but it's totally different when you use the expression pedal for pitch. So I've got a sound, it's electric piano, and it's got a wee synth in the background that you can kind of wow in the background like that. It's from the which is Sidewalk from the Chick Corea Electric Band album, which is a massively influential album for me. So here we are at the triple play. I've just thrown in a quick hardware patch because this is how I use the triple play the most. The triple play doesn't have any input where you can add CC controllers for pitch. Maybe it's something that Fishman might want to think about for the future. So what I've done is I've put this in hardware mode. This is how I use the Fishman most of the time. And the hardware synth will trigger Logic, the sounds in Logic. I'll have this running in the background and then have another program open. So in Logic, I'll use the poly mode rather than the mono mode, because mono mode just has too much information going out for when you're recording MIDI. So poly mode's just good, tracks just as fast, it doesn't make any difference. Touch sensitivity, I set to fingerstyle because I don't play particularly hard, but if I'm playing a rock track or playing just a bit harder, I'll set it to pick. These are the rest of my settings. I always set to trigger because the rest of them don't really work in my experience. And bending on the guitar, by the time you've bent something, it's such a complex thing for the computer to do, it's just not worth it. It slows everything down too much. I think Fishman have done a brilliant job, but it doesn't quite work for me. So hence I use a pedal for bending. So that's me in hardware mode. And then all I do is I go and open up Mainstage, which I've got right here. There you go. And as you can see, oh, I can bend the semitone or a tone like that. And it's totally smooth, does chords like that. Now, that's what it looks like when you put it into Mainstage. It's very tricky to do, I won't lie to you. You start off by going to the layout of Mainstage, or I imagine it's similar in all these kind of things. As you can see, I've got my FBV Express in the MIDI port, and it's on channel 1. Type is absolute because I tried all the others and that was the easiest to make work. I've chosen MIDI channel number 16 to use for my pitch. So I've got the Line 6 control software, and as you can see, I've set the pedal wah, they call it pedal wah. That's the one with the red light when you press that. If you click the switch, it goes to volume, and it's just a regular volume, which I've shown on another video. And then wah is your expression, or I've got it set to pitch for this one. The beauty is you can set it to CC16, and then, in each individual patch, you can make CC16 whatever you want for that patch. So I can have it as an expression or a pitch. MIDI through is automatic, send value to none, pitch bend, hooray. And you'll notice that that's the little pitch bend wheel right there. Go to the edit window, this is where the magic happens. You'd think you'd be all done there, but oh no, it doesn't work like that. You have to go to mappings, and then you have to go to range minimum and range maximum. Now the reason for this is that on the old mod wheels, the little round things, they had a little spring in them that would come back to the middle. And because you push the spring up, the pitch would go up, and you pull the spring down, the pitch would go down. The centre of that apparently was 64, as I understand it. So 64 is basically zero pitch when you're dealing with the minimum range. If I turn that down to 0, listen to what happens with the pitch. Listen to the pedal all the way down. You see, it's kind of a bit wobbly. And it doesn't seem to come back into pitch properly. So that's why you've got it set to 64. Now, the range maximum, if I had that at 64, it wouldn't do anything. 75 is actually a tone. I don't know the specific maths of this or percentages or anything like that, but if I turn it all the way up to 127, then it should go up by an octave. So here's a C, and that's a C up an octave. Like that. So you get you can play Looney Tunes, you can do lots of things, but I prefer to set mine at 75 because that's just a tone. So and you can set it for a fifth, you can set it for anything you want, but that's the way I do it. So that way I've now got my if I click the toe, I've got my volume pedal, and then I've got my sustain like that. And then I've got my panic button, which is all notes off. Just in case you get a hanging note, you press that. There you go, and that'll cut the note. If I play a note, actually, cuts the note off completely. And then I click the toe, I've got my pitch bend. So the kind of thing we can do with this is we can play you've got to think more and listen to more what you listen to what you'd like to play, hear what you'd like to play before you play it. But the handy thing is that you can bend chords and they'll all be in tune. You can take, anything like that and bend them in and out of tune, and every note will move perfectly in relationship to everything else. Whereas if you do that with a whammy bar on guitar, it's kind of some of the strings are like, oh, do I have to? And the other ones are like, yes, let's bend. So this kind of is totally different. So you can also do this. You can set the pedal to go down the way when you press it. It's very much like using a modern whammy pedal, similar kind of thing. And like a whammy pedal, you can set it to anything. You can set it to, a tone or up 3 frets, 4 frets, up an octave if you want, or up 2 octaves, which is quite good fun. If you want to get into whammy playing, like actually using a pedal for whammy, one of the people you should check out is Jennifer Batten. She's brilliant with it. She's got some great ideas. And I'm sure she's got a song called Whammy Damage, Above So Below or something like that. Check her out anyway, Jennifer Batten. She's always a good laugh as well. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget that my album Hyperreal's out. Plug, plug, plug. It's on Bandcamp, so you can buy it on that. That's how I make my living, basically, at the moment. And one more thing, I don't work for Fishman. So if you're expecting me to do support stuff, I don't do that. I don't work for Fishman. I normally find problems and cause them headaches. Yeah, any particular problems, go to the support for Fishman and that's it. But try the little pedal. Try some funky socks and see how you get on. So don't forget, ring the bells, the subscribe thing, and press the button and do the do. And I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Me.